Breathe with me. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose. And hold. And let it go. Beautiful. We'll take one more deep breath in through the nose. Get more air through a straw. And hold. And let it go. Awesome. Last one. Deep breath in. Hold. And let it go. Thanks for breathing with us. Welcome back to another episode of Medicine for Our Hands. Oh, medicine from our hands.
And for our hands.
And for our hands. With your host, Blossom.
And Dr. Charlier.
Dr. Charlie.
Heck, welcome back, everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, we're back.
So how you been?
Wonderful. Honestly, this is one of my favorite eras of my life. I'm living my Great Gatsby dream. It's grand, it's abundant, it's more, it's music, it's love, it's freedom, it's power, it's finding myself, it's sacred bites. So many grateful things, so many things I have to be grateful for. And camping.
Yes.
How are you, Charlie?
Beautiful. I've been, and the weather's been a little better now. It was a little chilly the last couple of days. It was perfect to have a fall during that time. And then now it's warming up a little bit. So I got a new kind of curved machete knife to cut my sugar cane, and that's been a whole different experience to have a sharp knife cutting. So it's been good. It's been good. I'm finally like cleaning up, clearing some debris, some things that need to be cleaned out in my yard / closet. So that's been nice to detox.
That's cool.
Yeah. So you all ready for our episode today, where we're gonna share a lot more about what we do actually as a community healers coming together to really support when we talk about the birth work, the conception phase, fertility. How do we come together as doctors and doulas coming together to support midwives, right? To really bring back the sacredness of the journey of being a parent, and for children also coming into this beautiful life.
It's important work. Someone's got to do it. Thank God. Thank you, universe. It's us. It's me. It's you. But I feel so grounded in this position because it's why I left the food industry. I thought I could be very useful as a cook, as a pastry chef, as a chef. But I thought with the knowledge I do know and have, and for what the disparity of what people don't know and what they don't have access to, I can bridge the gap. So instead of saying, I'm waiting on the world to change, I am the change. Be the change. So the work is infusing all of the knowledge of health and wellness, targeting mind, body, soul, fertility, conception, birth, even death and rebirth. Finding your own flower where you can blossom,
Yeah. And before we also get too far in, I just want to remind everybody to make sure to follow us and subscribe to our episode. Really excited that this is going to be, I think, our 10th episode. So we're recording our 10th episode.
Absolutely, yes.
And so you guys see, we've had a few episodes. Here's the one with Mish, but we've had our journey, talking about when spirit calls here, talking about awakening the healer within, and then going into Western medicine and what Western medicine forgot. And then we start to talk about bread, community in Sweet Bamboo. This is our little sacred bite journey about 2 months
Mm.
ago when we first started it. And then we got into birthing, masking, chakras. This is the COVID conversation, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And we're definitely going to have to break that down a little bit further as we go into these conversations next
Please.
year. And then we have reclaiming the primitive with Mish. And this conversation was great when we had a deeper conversation about music, going to our primal primitive experiences, going into nature and camping. And so this began our like camping hosting journey where we've been hosting a few camping experiences here and there. And that's been
Yeah.
really a really beautiful space to be at, to create a space for people to have nature as a therapy and prescription to their medicine. And then we got deeper into the conversation of pills and hospitals and the alchemy of community medicine and how we can use food, sound, and spirit as our deeper conversation that we're saying, we got to go back into our natural healing abilities, not going into prescriptions and pills and outside medicine.
Yes.
And then we go into healing the wound between the men and women. This was a really fun conversation just because I think too many of us experience this masculine, feminine tension pull that becomes too often sexualized too early, and you don't have an opportunity for men and women to actually be friends and working together and coworkers, right? And being able to have that really good platonic relationship between men and women. And finally, last one, we really went into conversation about birth and birth in the Western system. And, this I love this title. It just really pushed the conversation of your kids, your choice, because we've talked about this, my body, my choice, right? But yet, like, your kids, your choice. Like, you should have the choice on how you teach them, you grow up with them, you educate them, we feed them, And that's
Charlie,
such an
let them
important
know.
conversation, right?
You just said it with so much like gusto of a woman. My body, my choice. You better say what your body and your choice feel like. But that's what I advocate for. So it just made me laugh. Like, whoa. Yeah,
Exactly.
body choice. But that's why it's a lifestyle. My choice supersedes. It keeps me out of trouble. It's listening to your intuition, but it's direction. And you gotta take autonomy and the reins of having choice over your body and your health. You must do it as soon as you can. There's no too young of an age to care and start maintaining your health. I bet if you start as a baby or a child, stem cells, red light therapy, nature, all the modalities that we love and use, you are becoming a child. And I don't know if it's Benjamin Button syndrome, but I believe the child would start reverse aging. CMOS from a child?
Absolutely, yes.
I said what I said. So
There you have it, CMOS, the end all be all.
Bong biggity bing.
Is it CMOS with a side of ginger?
Absolutely, yes.
Or ginger with a side of CMOS?
Absolutely, yes.
Give me both. Both of them.
Absolutely,
Ginger
yes.
and I guess what? I had both today. This rising, I took my ginger and I had my CMOS and I feel amazing. Thank you.
And so the topic for today, I'm really excited, is really let's go into what we do. Like if we have people choosing to work with us, what are some of the services that we provide that are there to support a family or really two people who are ready to start a family, they're ready to have children, conceive with children, and looking to basically prep their bodies and their mind as well as their home to prepare to bring in children into the world. So let us, we've had a lot of discussion about things that aren't working out in the system, the healthcare space now, but I'd like to dream more into now that Neptune has retrograded ahead to Pisces and we're having some last minute appreciation for what would be a spiritual birth look like. Let's have a deeper conversation about what would we want to see in a birth center and what modalities will be supported in this birth center, that really we could see ourselves doing the best to support parents bringing children into the world.
Let's get into this. This is a dream come true. And I full-heartedly believe if we can map it out and I can express what I want in this space, it will come to be. So let's take one deep breath and then let's get into it. People miss it in the most simple ways. It's called radical hospitality. I experienced this during my time in Paris. I've just sat with incredible hosts. Before you get to this birthing center, you're going to be met with, have you ever seen the Grand Budapest Hotel?
Mm-hmm.
The bus boys will run to you to aid car seats and belongings and luggage. But before overwhelming you, these people will be reminding you, come breathe with me. And instead of the hustle and bustle, like getting into the place, they're just meeting and they're saying, you're in the right place, you're in the right time. Thank you for coming from your home, arriving here safely, and now you're in good hands. Let's breathe. I think if you just, 911, quick, sorry, too much. You already lost the plot. You lost it. No one needs stress and pressure. Like, everyone wants, yes, a hot pizza, but you don't want sauce sliding off. You don't want the cheese not melted. Like, so give it time to bake and then let it come out, let it cool, and then eat it. So clients come to this said center. I really like a center that's surrounded by nature. So you're driving, maybe not far, close enough to cities because a lot of people are living in cities. But if you are living in congruency with the stars, your birthing chart, your life, your body, your partner, I have no doubt in my mind, babies, I've seen it. It's a phenomenon, but babies wait for the right time. And if you're stressed, anxious, sometimes they come in the car, right? Babies are born in cars. But other times, babies really want to wait for the perfect moment to come. So if this birthing place and center is a little out of the way, I believe baby could wait for you to give birth. I've just, in many births, in many circumstances, over different races, I've seen babies just wait for mom to feel ready. So
Can I say something with
You
that
may.
too? It's funny because as an astrologer, major conversations people always ask, like, is it who picks the child's birth? Because if you're saying astrology is so important in the child's understanding of who they are, you know, is there a divine intelligence involved in bringing this child into the world, but having certain astrology that allows them to do really well, right? And it's really interesting because oftentimes I've had mothers or, ready to go into delivery, and they'll say, oh, yeah, the doctor scheduled me this because they're going to be on vacation, so they want to come in early, right? And what's really funny is, like, you could say that, but that child is not going to come during that doctor's time, right? And so
No.
I've seen so often that it will force themselves to go even though it's not the doctor's convenience, right? Or the mother's convenience, right?
Yeah.
And so I feel like sometimes if the parents are able to connect to the child to know what's going to come to you, because a lot of times, it's so important when I do this because, like, a lot of people come through me and they ask, what's my mission? And a lot of times their mission is in their astrology code, right? And it tells them that they are guided and built to do these missions. And so it's really important sometimes for them to come in at a certain time because it allows them to have access to greater frequencies and vibrations if they have the capacity to, right? And that's what's really interesting is for me, like I don't really bring in children into the world, but I do know that oftentimes I've had mothers tell me that, yeah, actually my child changed things and chose this birthday. And so you look at their birthday and you're like, wow, the birthday is so much more powerful because they chose that date rather than, a date that the doctor conveniently wanted to have because they might be going on vacation during the time the child wants to come through. And that birthday is like for the rest of their lives, a child is living with that birthday. So it's a very important entrance into our reality.
I couldn't agree more. And another corner is that babies usually come on full moons. I've seen that as well. Or new moons. Really, whenever the moon is in whatever cycle it is, waxing, waning, full, new, the babies gravitate towards whatever days are the strongest moon connection. And that's been incredible because back to the birth chart part of it, I imagine these souls, if they're like, if I get to come through, and if I'm coming through in this month, I'm coming through with this sun, this horizon, and that's cool. But another thing I've also seen with babies is like the faces that like they like look off to, or like the mean mugs. That is actually the babies like feeling the emotions and characters building and rising, and senses are coming into their like consciousness, and they're changing with it. So I just want to say that like when babies are being and however they are to you as a human, you should really like check it because they're mirroring, like they're a mirror. And that's been interesting too in this journey of working with children and babies.
So some of the other things that I would really enjoy in a birth space is really more movement meditation. I think that's been something I really enjoy developing these days. Is a lot of times in the clinic, I see a lot of pain patients, and so a lot of times when I have pain patients and I'm doing a massage, helping with the fascia release, doing scraping, gua sha, cupping, whatever it. Usually I was like, look, if you were to do these activities every day and do this exercise, it would help you release your shoulder or your knees or whatever joint you're having issues with. And so I find that a lot of times we need to give prescription that are beyond just an herb prescription or something else, right? So I find that actually doing and sometimes people don't need like to learn full Tai Chi exercise and to become a Tai Chi master, but rather there's a lot of what I've been coining meridians that need to be open. So I call them meridian movements, where we're moving in the meridians, activating the channels around the heart, right? And around the heart is this cardiovascular. So we do a lot of these arm, thoracic, chest opening, going up and down, which activates the heart channels. We do a lot of leg exercises like horse dance. Also talked about twerking and activating your sacral chakra to make sure that your hips are actually holding on to trauma and emotional blockages. And so that's been this important experience that, to me, I realized actually movement is so important to us and we've lost our connection to it. People have had to create ecstatic dancing where people are dancing and closing their eyes and just feeling where there's tightness in their body that they could be dancing into, right? To open that up. And so a lot of times when we say, be intuitive dancers, so feel into the body where your body needs to move, is because of stagnation in the body, and our body naturally knows how to open up the stagnation by doing natural movements.
Yeah.
Right. And so I feel like a birth center really needs to have this understanding of the body, because when the woman is bringing a child into the world, she is opening up her hip and basically she's a contortionist, right?
Yes.
She is contorting her
It's
body
this.
to open
It's a magic
up
act.
to a beautiful child that comes through. But like if you're only moving really slowly, like how we see in pregnant women, how they're always really slow moving, and we see them like you have to like take care of them. But I've seen some now today in America. You only see in America the ones that work out now, the women that work out when
You're
they're
funny.
pregnant.
You're funny.
It's very
That's like
American.
0.0003%. I mean, women work
Right.
out, but like,
But most women
yeah.
are not doing that.
Well, I mean, they find 2 gallons of milk. Like, we find our exercise where they
Yeah.
find it. So check it out. Back to what the direction is after these maybe it's breath coaches, but these breatharian, ethereal people, they will receive your bags. Your bags will go to your set room, loft, designated area. From there, you'll meet a doula, midwife, doctor. I think having multiple just like OBGYN doctors on staff here, there for complications, wisdom. I think that's bridging further the healthcare industry with what we're trying to do, which is birth centers. But I want everyone to picture and imagine just an open ashram, so a vibe from India, but with the energy of maybe South Africa, of just like open space, like bamboo fans, or like fans made like naturally in just open space. And to the right, so this doula, doctor, and midwife is going to congratulate and welcome this couple. You made it. You thought it was the day of conception. You made it to basically 9 months. It's about to happen. You thank God. From there, you know how I guess in courting, women go first. This is a time for a woman to go first, and her needs are this: move the body. So dad will be with doula and support, and he's going to be talking about the pregnancy, contractions, last minute things. Hopefully it's not last minute. Maybe they're here 7 days before they're giving birth. However the time is, dad is catching up these women, nurses, people helping about where she is. She is going to do yoga. Natural, intuitive flow. There will be maybe a coach or guide or other pregnant women already doing their stretches. And this is a time for pregnant people to learn from other pregnant people in a safe way. I don't think there's enough like pregnant meetups, because we're all like, let's stay safe and healthy and like prioritize, and we're tired and busy. But like pregnant women just get to be with themselves, their babies, their bodies, and with one another. Powerful stuff. Affirmations will be said here. Doulas will be in this space helping shake the apples, or basically taking a rebozo and doing gentle movements if that's what's needed. Light snacks, bites, tea is there. It's open, it's free. Mothers get to breathe before it's like, sign this paper and go into this medical frenzy. No, birth is natural, and it's going to happen when it's going to happen. But let us all do it with ease and softness, and then it can be fun or exciting. And then now you remember, oh, I love moving my body. Now I want to dance. Maybe I'll dance this baby out. Like, that's how we get to orgasmic birth.
Absolutely, yes.
Yes.
I've been at it. I've been thinking about this for a long time. As a chef, I just kept thinking, like, feeding a mother is not enough. If I want to be a doula, like, what is it? It's calm all the way through, because the contractions will be big. The woman will contort. Like, it's going to be miraculous, and it will shock you probably for the rest of your life. Every time, every birth is different, but so beautiful. And it's always like, wow, life happens like this. I get to see the start of a being's life. So after I realized food is good and enough, what's more, it's feeling comfortable, or feeling like you're at home giving birth. Because the reason why it's room temperature or open air is because I don't like the shock of cold in hospitals. Like, it immediately feels like super sterile, and they do their best with paintings and muralists and people that come in. They do well, but in general, like, I don't like that frigid, like, you're just already on edge. Mothers don't need that. They need like calm from car to like where they're going to be. And I think it's coming in, being greeted, breathing, movement, and then eating. From there, maybe she wants to take a few laps in just like the pool or relax. Or then I want to include and remember like sun being medicine. So like healthy sunspots where it's not like too much and too deeply penetrating or harmful UV rays, but sun, because sun is good for the skin, it's good for the baby within the mother and through her skin. So sunbathing, I want sound baths. I want people to just frequencies to be vibing through this space. Just it's randomly happening. It's just that it's always happening where people, souls, humans are collaborating the space and adding beautiful melodies and harmonies to the space. Maybe there's a live harp. From there, whether it's consultation with like how many days the mother has left to give birth, whether it's she's malnourished or needs CMOS support, or if it's she needs like fitness and mindful movements or meditation and decompressing and journaling, whatever the mother needs, she can get here. And it's like, oh, we didn't bring towels, but we packed the baby bag. We have them. Oh, after my baby's done breastfeeding, we don't have any pacifiers. Here they are. You know, just things that make the space comfortable. And lastly, you know, people cleaning the space, people maybe doing limpias. I want ancestral indigenous medicine to be a part of all of this, if possible, when it is possible, when it happens. And because we need all hands on deck, all races, all ethnicities, all religions, all spirits, all people, men, women, children, on board, on deck, and going for health in this direction. It's what can save the world, one baby at a time. I know it. I know it.
Wow, what a beautiful way to come into the space. And also to support the mother, just because I find too often I feel like birthing, like the whole birth process has gotten a much difficult, rep recently than it used to be. I think it was a much more beautiful experience than it is today. And I think with that stress of the mother already feeling, most likely, I mean, my mom worked during her pregnancy, right? So how many mothers today are actually working before their pregnancy?
Yeah, and most. And you know what it is? It's another strange thing I've seen. Mothers are great and they love their babies and they want to grow. But once you get to like month 8, you're like, I'm still pregnant and baby's not here. So you start to feel, I don't know, I've just seen, right? But you start to feel like you're not doing enough or you could be doing more when your body's naturally slowing you down so you can rest, so you can have an easy birth. But I've seen women like feel that and be like, I'm going to work, push through it. And like, I support it too, because some women do, but other women get towards that time and just take maternity leave early, which I encourage. As long as like you're not on medical bed rest. Listen, get your rest, sis, goddess, please God. Like there's gonna be time where a nap may be it. You know, there's a level of sleep deprivation in the process, and it's for good reason. It's a fasting of sleep, so you can be more aware. Maybe this is time to meditate, but in general, it's to match the baby's frequency and energy levels and rest, so they can get the first year of their life with just like ample rest, so they can grow in the healthiest version to be. So you sacrifice your sleep for your child's well-being. But what's beautiful is that the better you are and the quicker you are in calibrating it, the better night's sleep you and baby get. So we all win.
What would you say about the experience of the father?
And the father, in which regard?
Well, what are the current situations where how the father's involved, and how would we want to change it so that a father feels more connected to the full experience as well? And the mother, I mean, the mother should feel connected to the father. Are you
ready? This is going to be shocking, and I've been saying it, and you'll know. Co-ed men and women circle. Bong. It scratches all the nerves. We're going to bond by a fire. There might be music. There's going to be sharing and connecting. We can all share experiences as humans. COVID happened. Social disconnection happened. Unrest happened. We're now calibrating and we're coming back when we're back outside. But if we don't come together and talk just as platonic friends over, I say fire because we can transmute a lot there. Maybe it's a waterfall if you're there. Maybe it's a jungle. But fire I've seen is the best for this. And then men, fathers, can just see other men being men. Women can see other women being women. And a village then supports this dream of the two. So men, I feel far because they're far and they're not the ones holding a baby for 9 months. But hopefully they were there for longer than 9 months, so a day at least before and after. But during that time, he should be doing like vision quest. He should be reaching out to the in-laws. He should be getting on a fitness regimen, whether it's calisthenics, pull-ups, push-ups, kickboxing, Muay Thai, to get defense, physical defenses up for his now family. He should be at prenatal appointments and also offering massage, not just like for the bedroom, but like for moving the circulation. So baby is not just like breathing in mom's stomach and growing, but moving, being active, listening, reading to the belly. Read to your child. They're listening. They're looking for your voice. And I believe like stern fathers or mothers that have strong voices or convictions, that are praying, talking to their child, reading books to them, their children are geniuses. I know it. Listening to Beethoven, classical music, eating well, staying away from parabens, black plastics, all these things to support family, father can do so mother can work on growing the baby. Don't feel far, dad. Build the castle, but we need it to be built so mother and child can be happy. So any of these ways I would say would be really helpful, because like the circle of village between like pregnant people, you don't have to have all pregnant friends or single friends or married. Having all the different variations of human adult in that child's life is that child's like lifeline support. This is where godfathers and godmothers are pulled from. With that, like dad naturally knows how to get into it. Without it, it's like, I don't know what to do. It's like, talk to your sister over there. She's maybe never been pregnant, but she's helped Aunt Susie. You know, it's things like that. So that's how I feel dad should best get in. But like also, until a mother is saying, no, that's not good, that hurts, it's too much, like just help. Like be a friend to your wife. Like maybe it's high stress and hormones, but then get her access to the teas that can balance and regulate her hormones so she isn't yelling at you then. Like make it your priority to make that year the most chillest year of your life and your partner's chillest year of your life. If you know their triggers, how about you don't trigger them? Like, if you know it's been a stressful week, how about you plan a dinner for them? If you know that, you know, maybe we've been really not eating well, sign up for a cycling class, get her there, but like date your wife and tell her she's beautiful and like she will just be the best mother to your child. And if fathers are like, I don't know what that means, it's just like show love to what you're creating. You know, your baby's going to come out and saying, Dad, like, Dad, you're here. Make sure you have something to show for that, because that child is going to answer and look to you, you know?
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes.
Very great answer, very long, to just definitely a lot of things that men are definitely need to make up for kind of a lot of that's happened. But I feel like also, you know, in many ways too, I think we as men have had to really be more accountable for the whole situation, right? I feel like too often it has not been accountable for, and I think that's just in general on both sides, right? Was like, oh, it's all about the women having the child, and then when they don't want the father involved, it's convenient to cut the father out, right? And then it's convenient to have the father because you need money, right? And that's kind of where, as a mother, as a father, as a man, like it's this constant like, is this my child
Right.
conversation, so there's different kind of, and that's a whole nother layer
Yeah.
of
But
problems
Maury, like,
yeah, but these shows are super popular
yeah.
because this is such a common issue that couples are having loyalty and betrayal in between them before the child is
It's
born.
born, and that's what kills any family dynamic.
Yeah, and this is kind of where I'd say also, yes, I agree with everything you said about men kind of stepping up too. And I think this is the deeper conversation that we need to have about community development, and that we need to support both men and women, right?
Yeah.
Because, as men, most of us are probably grown up without both parents, right? And so how we
That's the
going
issue.
right, and how
That's
we
the
going to
issue.
teach them how to be fathers that are not carrying the trauma that they didn't have fathers growing up.
I know, but like the thing is, it's like it's so strange. It feels like fathers wait their entire life from boyhood to adulthood to become fathers, and when it's time, it's like cold feet. Like it's like I don't want to, and then years later, it's like maybe there's a prodigal son or reclamation or reconciliation, but why do fathers feel like after having maybe a deep, pleasurable experience, relationship, connection, that the best course is to just be like deuces? Like, what is that even about?
Well, I think it's a deeper conversation of the system allowing it to happen. Just because I think, today when we argue and have conversation about why is the system so bad, and you kind of look at, well, who are the leaders of today? And those leaders are probably the ones who grew up being the hurtful child who didn't have one parent, and they became the assholes, and no one kind of sat them down, right? And so the deeper healing that we need to do is that, yes, there's a lot of bad situation that's happened growing up. However, it's the forgiveness of all men and women, that there's a place for us to redeem ourselves, to kind of say, okay, yeah, like I didn't have good parents growing up, but I can change that by learning how to be a good parent for my child today. And being able to be open to supporting people who don't know, and I think too often times we're like, oh, you don't know, you're dumb. No, we shouldn't be saying that. And that's a very American thing. I grew up, that was like, oh, you don't know? Well, you're so dumb. I'm not American. Like, who am I going to learn this American culture but you, right? It was, and that was kind of like what I was bullied for. Is that bullied because I didn't know the American culture. I didn't watch American television growing up. And so by the time I came to America, they're like, oh, and there was a very narcissistic concept of American culture where you're like, oh, you don't know American culture, get out of this country and go home to your old original country. And like, technically, if you know your history, we came here because of the wars that you propagated. So the deeper conversation is like, how do men kind of make up for their loss of connection to their parents, to their ancestors, right? I mean, today's European men, are not around because the Europeans believe that they're no longer European, but they're American, and that American culture is up to when they came to this country, but they forget their roots, that they come from a European descent, just as well as we come from our own heritage in Asia. So when we come here, we have to also, yes, we have to learn the American culture. And so, like, what does that look like also? And what's funny is American culture here, actually, fatherhood is not a thing.
Peter Griffin.
Yeah, we talked about this, where like TV shows, you have the Peter Griffin, the Homer Simpson, all these like fat, slobby, lazy American men who like just go to work and come home and like watch TV all day long, watch football all day long, and don't care about their lifestyle at home. And so the mother is supposed to do everything at home, and this is where you get kind of like the swinging back of like, oh, feminism and women need more help at the home, right? And then they like swing back, and the men are like, patriarch toxic, blah blah blah, and then it goes back and forth. Now suddenly we hate men, we hate women. Now we should split them up, and here we are again with the same problem, rather than saying, hey, no, these two people could be compatible if we had therapy for them to say, hey, maybe both of you guys should learn how to speak to each other so you guys aren't just creating resentment in the relationship. A lot of times it happens right when you get that little certificate that says you're married now.
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
for some reason,
communication
everybody
goes out the window.
yeah,
We start boxing. I don't know
yeah.
what is
I
that?
call it the Disney phenomena, where
Oh
it's like
no.
happily ever after, right? You're like, oh, if finally you met them, finally they ask you to marry you. Now you guys get married, and don't worry about the movie after when you get married, because everything's happily ever after. And the movie, and now like everyone is living after the effects of getting a Disney princess, and not going. She is now the ugly stepmother who's like,
Oh
right?
no.
And there goes the story. Continues the story. You know, in
Man,
Asia
let me
we
know
have
in the
the
comments.
issue.
Is that true? Dang, that's deep, dude.
Well, I feel like there's just suddenly like expectations of a father or a husband compared to a boyfriend compared to a husband, and like
Yeah, I agree.
there's different levels, and
Yeah.
suddenly I think, you know, culturally, I think the reason why we have such terrible perception of marriage in this country is just TV has done.
TV.
TV and movies have done a
Yeah.
terrible job in showing us what great mothers and fathers look like.
That's true. But the other thing I'm thinking about is I don't know one main character who is the father of another race in America. Makes sense. But when minorities have made America or built America and it's not on any of the TV, it can't help but be a joke. And I'm just thinking about even the sitcoms of like black and brown families. It's always a joke. It's never serious. It's not educationally backed or like focused. It's just like how good are you as an actor and actress? And like my people, our people, all people, hilarious. Thank you, God. Mad TV, the things, hilarious. But how unfortunate. How unfortunate to not. That was something I struggled with, like my identity of my hair, my skin, who I was as a person, because like I never saw someone that looked like me in media. And so it's unfortunate because like
So this is
how long
kind of
have we
like,
been at it?
right? So this is how you can then extrapolate further, and how actually the deeper problem is that we don't have representation of what a healthy version of a father looks like, a healthy version of a mother, and a healthy father and mother together, right? And I think that's the deeper inherent problem, because we grow up with all these, you know, slobby father and, you know, working mother that's like so busy at home, you know, and that's kind of what we're growing up with. And then taking the fact that like most of us, a lot of us who are immigrants coming from other countries here, we had to adjust to two cultures, right? And so those two cultures, you know, I can see like how a lot of men had to like both be, you know, they were kind of like the top of their culture, and then coming to America and now having to kind of like, I don't want to say feed from the bottom, but like, you know, a lot of jobs I used to go to our fathers, you know, like didn't go to our fathers anymore, because there's this like pecking order of who got certain jobs, right? And so that's why a lot of immigrant families pushed the kids to get higher income, higher degree, you know, paid salary jobs, because we understood that this financial advantage supported the success of the family, right? And so that's why now you're suddenly like seeing so many immigrant family that are doing well enough where they're able to kind of get past the all the you know, civil disadvantages that goes on with the government. And so I think now there's been a big push now that we have to recognize that we need to support fathers a lot more. And so the fathers in communities, you know, even if they messed up, like the fact that like we need to allow them to come back to the table. Otherwise, if we keep excommunicating fathers out of communities, then we give them an opportunity to continue not showing up for their kids. And so, you know, when you're saying that why do the fathers suddenly quit when suddenly they see the kid and they feel suddenly overwhelmed? It could be because we're not seeing on TV like, oh my God, like I'm gonna be a father, and we don't see the joy of being fathers. We hear more joys of is joy being a mother and how mothers are always being appreciated for things, but like fathers are not, like we're not fathers are not appreciated right now today. Fathers are always kind of like looked down on, but it was a father's role to protect the children, right? And I feel like there's been this need of healing that we need more fathers to protect children. And I think in this grander scheme of our population on this planet and in this country, that there's been, I mean, the amount of trafficking that happens on the planet and on this country is so bad. If you look at the numbers for trafficking, it's so bad. That means that what's happened is fathers have not been protecting children, and that's a bigger problem that we need to discuss. And I think in this in this new birthing center, I would love for us to have support for fathers, so that men who are becoming fathers for the first time don't feel the pressure of like, fuck, I'm doing this all by myself and I don't know how to do it. And, if I don't have any help, maybe I'm going to be a failure. So might as well just be a failure and not even deal with it. I don't really know what goes into a lot of these fathers, thoughts. But like for me, I've always wanted to be a father. But I don't think that most men are thinking that way, right? I think men who struggled being children probably aren't thinking, oh, I'm going to have a child because my childhood was that great that I want to give that opportunity to a child. And I think when a child is growing up with very difficult time, they're not thinking about, oh, now let me go and share this really shitty childhood to a child I'm going to have, right? And to pass on that pain. So I think there is this deeper healing that needs to happen for fathers, both in multi-generational fathers, but multiracial families, just because we're not really experiencing really good fathers.
That's why fathers take their sons camping.
Ooh, yes. Actually, yes.
Fishing, bonfire, camping,
nature,
smoke,
right?
nature.
Being out
Nature.
and teaching them how to actually survive. Really, I believe that fathers and mothers are teaching their children how to regulate their nervous system in activities, and that's not happening, and that's why all of the mothers and fathers are so overactive, right? Like the father's able to go, hey, I know there's a bear sitting there, but like, hey, I know you're afraid, but take a deep breath. Know what you can handle right now, and know what you can do, and then know that in that fear, you still have answers. Do you run away? What do you do if you're scared? But don't just get scared and run away right now. Like in that process, like understanding how to face that fear is a lot of this beautiful place that father shows up. And so again, I think in this birthing center is actually we should have fathers who maybe don't have kids anymore, fathers who they have, what they called, when the kids leave the nest, right?
Empty nesters.
Empty nesters, right? They're good fathers. Those fathers should come and hang out at the birth center, so that maybe like, when the father finally like runs into that moment of like, holy shit, there's a child that looks like me that I have birthed. Now I'm ready to run away. There's all these other fathers who go, hey son, I know how it feels to run away, but you got all these other fathers to ask questions for. So like, if anything, face your fears. That's what fathers were teaching others.
That's it. Go into nature and face your fears.
Exactly.
Children.
So if you have other men out there who can be there, as soon as like that man suddenly realizes he's a father, like, oh shit, everything I do, I can mess up that child. I don't want to even be involved in it. Other men show him and go, no, it's okay. We're here for you. You just gotta at least sit this one through with that child, no matter however crazy or not know what you're doing. That kid is even more scared than you, because like they are in a very dangerous world today, right?
Yeah.
And so it is important for us to have fathers around in a birthing center.
Yes.
That gives men an opportunity to feel that having a child and raising a child is not scary, but it should be a celebration.
Correct. And I believe if we're going to birth these new ideas, it's not just adding to the system, it's letting the system that may exist dissipate and then creating a new one. But another notion I want to add is that the model comes from Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts. And if we have boys and girls clubs connected to this birthing center, can help prevent teenage pregnancy. It can help advocate and give access to resources to help with menstrual cycles and hormonal cycles of boys to men. We get a lot as women, and they'll tell you just how to put on a tampon and this and that, diva cups. But I don't think boys get that same emotional regulation or like emotional support, and their hormones are changing rapidly. Their voices are dropping octaves. They're getting taller overnight. Peach fuzz. So like had really amazing. Wow, that's cool. I had really amazing guy friends growing up, like as a elementary age girl, and seeing them transition to middle school and then high school was just like tripped out. I was changing my own way, I'm sure, and I am, but at the time I was like, wow, like boys are becoming men. Like, and so but at the time it wasn't a discussion because they were just like, yeah, like I'm gonna go play a sport or I'm gonna go hunting with my father or whatever. But it was like, we got it. Like if women have their thing, we have ours. I don't think men got it. And so I think there should be more emotional, hormonal support for the regulation of children. But in one house at birthing center, because it's like you go to the woods to protect and provide because one day, son, you may have a family. Like it's all intergenerational. And I also feel we need more elder circles, elder spaces, and respectful spaces for them to come and be. Could be as simple as a teepee outside of this, and just like elders are there welcoming, beckoning, on the lookout and watch. Like every age of this life is necessary and vital to community. A 1-year-old teaches a 2-year-old, a 2-year-old teaches a 3-year-old, a 3-year-old teaches a 7-year-old, a 7-year-old teaches a 77-year-old, the 77-year-old teaches. It goes like that. We need us, all of our ages, all of our brains going towards this so we all can make it.
Collective intelligence.
Round table talk.
Yes. Yeah, so as we're moving into kind of the last 10 minutes of our show, I wanted to kind of share some of our services that we do offer today, at this current moment, just because, as much as we love to dream into a birthing center that has all these things, it is the lifestyle that we are building. We've talked about this. We're kind of lifestyle coaches. Doctors, doulas is our specialty, but really we're lifestyle coaches bringing all of it together. The lifestyle you live is going to create the health that you want to experience.
Yeah.
And so we realize that, like, chasing, the leak one at a time is really not addressing overall health, right? Where like I'm only addressing the one problem that shows up when a patient comes, which is like, look, your problem comes from this habit that you keep doing, causing all these symptoms that leaks your energy out. And we're constantly band-aiding our problem. Sometimes we want to address the bigger problem. And most of the time, people are like, not yet, Charlie, not yet. But in maybe a couple months after I've tried you out, maybe I'll go deeper. And so I found that oftentimes we just have to be at the speed of our clients, of our patients, until they're ready to go deeper into that deeper healing. And so it helps that there's many ways that we can connect to our clients in different ways, because for you, not everybody is going to come in and say, hey, it's the 8th month. I need to know now. What do I need to know? Because I suddenly want to have this at-home birth, and you haven't been coached for 8 months and you're going to go straight into it. Versus there's different places that people can work with both services of Blossom as myself.
Yeah.
And that's really important for us to kind of share that with the community, because not everybody, see us. We're there having fun with everybody, connecting, eating, but some people don't forget that, like, we are specialized to work with fertility, to work with people who are looking to have children.
For sure. And I'm going to tell you guys a bit about my services. I offer different packages, these service packages for women who are pregnant or in the conception journey, prenatal appointments. All of my services are a la carte, or you can buy them bundled together. Prenatal appointments where I offer a spa day. I cover you in bentonite clay mask, and we meditate. I do sound bath, massage, and a foot soak. Detoxify the body, detoxify the skin. There's a tea ceremony. I also we get together and strategize your birth plan. Who do you want in the room? Who don't you want in the room? Is it a vitamin K shot your baby's going to get? Are you going to circumcise? Not. So we go through the nitty gritty of that. And then I also offer food support and nutrition support. So meal plans, identifying what proper herbs and adaptogens and proteins and starches and fruits and vegetables to make postpartum recovery quicker, better, more agile for the body. And I also offer sound baths. I also offer private chef lessons or private dinners, and art. I'm an artist as well. But I say this all to say, I'll pass this to Charlie, but before I do, Sacred Bites, that's what that whole container of coming together to pray, to drum, to sing, to dance, to the food, to have gratitude for the seed, for the farmer, for the animal, is to help people that are trying to conceive, or mothers, have an outlet to community, access to connecting deeper with yourself and one another, but so you can get a good home-cooked organic meal. So if you're in Houston and you'd like to join us for the next one, it's going to be January 25th, and it's going to be amazing. But Charlie, take it away.
Thank you. And for my services, I am a doctor of acupuncture and herbal medicine. I'm currently doing my licensure for acupuncture, so I do also gua sha and cupping. So really, for men and specifically for fertility, a lot of times cardiovascular is an issue, and diabetes. And so I work with you on supporting either an exercise regime, physical activity. Massage is super important. So a lot of deep tissue massage, fascia openers, just because around the hips, and I say this all the time, hips are so important. And a lot of men just don't move their hips unless you're a Latin, or you love doing your salsa, Latin dancing. You're just not moving your hips. So we got to do a lot of hip openers. So I do a kind of massage to help men support that. But also if we have to do acupressure to kind of support the fertility of the men, and also taking herbs to support with that. And then I also do astrology. And astrology to me is really one of my passion, because understanding who you are and how your constitution is for your health allows you to actually be in charge of your health, so that is it a sound bath that works, or is it a water detox foot bath, or is it grounding that works, because all those are elemental affinities depending on who you are constitutionally and astrologically. And then Reiki and sound healing are like these two other ethereal modalities that I really love to get into. I'm a big metaphysical scientific guy. I went from a tech to what I call nature tech and spirit tech, and so your body is a vehicle for the spiritual soul. And so I work with spirit tech. I do Reiki, and I can kind of also use sound to kind of help open up, give you space in your body. So all these modalities really support the men and women to kind of have a kind of calm nervous system, because it is in the calm nervous system, rest and digest, that regeneration happened. And it is in that regeneration that you can support the fertility of the men and the women. And so for men too, the deeper conversation we should be talking about is porn. Are you watching too much porn? Are you ejaculating too much? Are you releasing fluids too much? Actually, if I work with men, we have to go, hey, actually 90 days do not actually release any fluid, so that what the type of sperm that we're cultivating for your child is actually a sperm that's been basically cultivated for 90 days at least. Because the women, they're cultivating those eggs since the day they are born. It's been stored in their bodies, and so they've been protecting those eggs. So for sperm, I mean, it's being constantly made, but if we're releasing so often, that cultivation of chi, of energy in the sperm isn't being developed, right? So when we have the IVF conversation of, do you choose the doctor to pick the sperm that's going to get fertilized, or are you going to be the one to fertilize the egg with your masculine vessel, right? And that's that deeper conversation of why fertility is also health for men, because when you are very fertile is when you're actually very healthy.
Right.
So that's the deeper conversation with why I focus fertility, both men and women. So I don't just focus on men. I also help with women as well. There are also acupuncturists who are women who are also good with that. And we're kind of partnering as well. But for me, it's supporting the men specifically, just because men do not go to, unfortunately, medicine and the medical spaces. So they're not the one getting health care. It's usually their girlfriend or wife who will push them to go see a doctor, and eventually they treat whatever they've been ignoring, which
Right.
sometimes will have festered over time.
Right. Yeah. I don't know if people know this or not, but fertility means health, and health means fertility. If you're in a co-creation of any sort, you know what fertile ground looks like, and we know what shriveling and regeneration looks like too. But the reason why I go for the things that I go for that help and support my lifestyle is because, like, I feel my best, I feel my fertilist, I feel just abundant in that. And it's creative energy. It's being able to make amazing menus and food. It's taking time to have time in nature, to go camping. That it's something I've always wanted to be a part of my life. Now it's a part of my life, but it's because, like, I have the mental agility, and, like, I'm at a calm state in my life where camping is just fun. Like, I grow, and the fire teaches me so much. Nature has so many lessons. But yeah, it's so cool that what I love supports my lifestyle, and my lifestyle is what I love. I love it.
Yeah. So to finish up the episode, just want to remind you all, please subscribe to our show, Medicine from Our Hands.
Absolutely, yes.
And we're excited to also prepare for our panel series next year in 2026, where this whole podcast has really been building up just to develop these experiences. We're human powered, so it's all about our experiences of being human and not being AI powered by the new age. So I thank you all for joining us in our episode. Thank you for subscribing, following us. Until next time.
Be well, stay healthy, be fertile. We love you.
Be fertile. Bye, everyone.
Peace.